Hello, America. I'm Richard Dixon, your host of AmericanVotingShow.com, where you, the viewing audience, get to weigh your decisions in after watching our show. On this week's show, we're going to talk about FICO, or what is known as credit scores, on people's credit reports. I'm a 19-year veteran in this industry of mortgages, and I tell you what, I am tired of seeing what's going on that's hurting more people than this system of credit scoring was designed to help. I believe initially it was set up for an anti-discriminatory measure, whether you're white, black, pink, or purple. If you have a certain credit score, you get a certain loan. Now, because the fallacies in the system of the method of credit scoring is actually discriminating more people than I believe that it was actually designed to help. Okay, folks, I'm holding up a credit report, and in the credit reports, how the credit scoring is determined is by the customer or the borrower's availability to pay bills on time and using credit limit wisely, so forth and so on. It actually sounds really good, but here's the problem. In a credit report, you have the name of a borrower and their address and social security number and so forth and their place of employment. However, due to the fact of the Privacy Act, and secondly, because the identity theft epidemic is still at an all-time high, you cannot disclose a person's income against the debts that are reported on the credit bureau. Second part of the problem is that they're assets of the borrower. I mean, I'll give you an example. If somebody had $500,000 of debt between mortgages and car payments, you think, oh my gosh, this guy's in debt. In actuality, he could have $5 million in assets. So it doesn't look good. The credit report doesn't paint what I call the complete picture. It doesn't measure people's income against their monthly obligations. And secondly, it doesn't measure their debts overall, their assets. I mean, a friend of mine tried to fix me up with a girl one time, and I said, well, good, give me a picture. Let me see a picture of this girl. And only thing I got was a third of a picture, which was like from the knee down, you know. I need to see the complete picture before making a decision. And that's, again, one of the reasons and problems of the credit report. It doesn't paint the complete picture. How can you determine a credit score by only looking at a third of the picture, which is only your debts that are on a credit report? As you may very well know, back several years ago, some geniuses in this lending industry decided to give people mortgage loans just based on credit scores. They had a 700 credit scores, no need to check income or anything else, bam, they gave them a loan. Now, we all know the outcome of what happened there. So my question again now is that since the lending industry learned a painful lesson that you can't just give people mortgage loans based on credit scores, why are they still imposing the credit scores for all consumers? Here's my suggestion. Abolish FICO scores altogether. Go back to the basics of a person making a lending decision, looks at the borrower, job time, pay history on their credit report, and availability to repay the debt. I mean, this is what needs to happen. Go back to the basics. I mean, I could even train a chimpanzee how to read a credit report. What? You don't believe me? Well, what's this? Now, if I can train a fish how to jump out of water by a snap of a finger, I can most certainly train a chimpanzee how to read a credit report. It's real simple. Abolish FICO scores or abolish FICO scores. Now, I don't know what genius thought of this idea and what laboratory animals that they tried this exercise on, but they somehow got Congress to pass this bill several years ago where they're able to charge consumers, drivers, homeowners, renters, insurance, whatnot, based on credit scores. So this gives an opportunity for the insurance companies to be able to charge a higher premium for a person that may have never had a car wreck or a speeding ticket. Folks, look, it's real simple. The system of lending, the system of insurance has found a way, a clever disguise, okay? It's the biggest scam ever of being able to charge you and me higher premiums, higher costs, and just not naming it discrimination, because this measure is discriminating a lot more masses of people. Give you an example. Back 5-6 years ago, if you had a 680 credit score, it was considered A. If you had a 700, it was A+. Now, the credit score is between 740 and 760. So what gives? I mean, all they got to do is just keep raising the scores to keep you at a B, B-. I mean, before long, we may be at 1,000 points you need for a good credit score. I don't know about you folks. This kind of stuff, being a loan officer, really stresses me out. So I went out to you, America, to see what your thoughts were. Well, here are my thoughts. I'm a human being. I eat, breathe, sleep, go to the bathroom every day. Don't treat me like a number. I mean, we've got a government office that doesn't have a balanced budget, doesn't know how to. What's their score? We have a defunctated Fannie and Freddie Mac that our taxpayer dollars had to bail out, while these CFOs are sitting on their Fannie, and we're going to talk about that in another show coming up. But anyways, what's their score? I mean, the insurance and the banking systems that our tax dollars had to bail out several years ago, I hate to see their scores. So why are people like you and I held to such a stringent measure and measured by our credit scores when we, the citizens, are the main entity that supports all these people? Now, don't you feel discriminated against? I do. Okay, America, it's time to vote. Should we abolish FICO score? Click yes, we should abolish FICO scores, or no, we should keep them. By the way, if you have another show topic matter that I should be presenting on this show, send me an email. It's located at the bottom of your screen, and I'll be more than happy to respond to it. And just a few weeks ago, I got an email from a viewer that says, hey, what's the point of voting? I mean, again, let me explain. This is an exercise. The tally counts that we gather. My vote, your vote alone is not enough. We need to group this, as many as we can get, hundreds of thousands to millions. And with that volume mass of people, we're going to be able to find the right voice that will stand up. And again, our votes, we as America, can channel our voice through one system, okay? That's the whole goal of this whole show concept, okay? It's not really a show to entertain. Hopefully it does a little. It teaches you something. But again, we need to find a way to get our message across, because the system we have in place now is not working. Okay, America, if you want your voices to be heard, click that mouse. And until next week's show, I'm Richard Dixon, your host of AmericanVotingShow.com, and I'll see you then.